Greetings humanity, and welcome once more to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is once again Alas for the Angry Void. We made it back! Yay! This is a reskinning of Alas for the Awful Sea by Storybrewers Roleplaying. We reskinned it to tell a gothic science fiction story set among the stars. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to the folks we have here with us today and find out who they are and who they're playing. We shall start with Hollow. Hello!
Hello, I'm Hollow. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Jackson Mead, the merchant confidant.
Excellent, excellent. And now we will head over to Robin. Hello!
Hello everyone, I'm Robin. I use any and all pronouns. Today I am playing Rust Worsley, who uses he, him pronouns, who is the surgeon and the outcast.
Excellent, excellent. And finally we will head over to Katy. Hello!
Hi everybody, I'm Katy. I use they, she pronouns, and today I'm playing Levitt Teague, who is the mercenary lover, who also uses they, she pronouns.
Excellent, excellent. Alas, Cleric and Mem could not be with us today. We hope they are well, but they will hopefully be back with us next time. Before we dive in, you may see us use safety tools from time to time. Like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. Let me adjust this here. Yes, good. All is well. Good. He says trying to read 90 things at once. This game may contain gothic themes like gloom, despair, intense emotions, macabre scenes, romance, and curses, along with references to violence, alien creatures, colonialism, crime, death, exploitation, family issues, separation from family, homesickness, loneliness, starvation, sudden decompression, the vacuum of space, and vengeance. If you want to see that at any time, you can type in, if you're watching live on Twitch, ! Alas CW for content warning, and that will show up. That's also going to show up periodically from time to time on regular rotation. Let's see. Other things. Please remember also we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game and mental health is always more important. So, what is it that we have happening here? Let me look at my notes here real quick. I believe I wrote up a thing. Yes, I do. Here it is. Here it is. As we begin once again, as it's been some time. Murder! On the top floor of a high tower on the planet Metaxas, the body of Dr. Coy Shackley has fallen dead at the feet of Rust Worsley. Rust needs to learn more about a deadly alien virus that is slowly killing him, so he came to Shackley. After a number of tests, the doctor told him that this rare ailment, called by some the Blight virus, is known to be used by members of the Cinder Throne, a collection of disenfranchised noble families who engage in organized crime. It is also programmable, which means it can be hacked by someone with access to the appropriate black market tools or alien implements. Barring that, Rust would have to find whoever programmed the virus in the first place. Which may be more difficult than he'd first imagined, since it turns out this virus has been in his system for a number of years, and only manifesting now because he was not its intended victim. It is keyed to someone else's DNA. But it has been adapting, and will kill Rust given enough time. Dr. Shackley has also revealed that some of the elements present in the makeup of the Blight virus can, he suspects, be found on Comet Attis, the spectral comet, which will be entering their sector in about 5 days' time. The Doctor has also given Rust a data cube, which presumably has diagnostic information on it. But before any of this could be discussed, an assassin wearing the garb of the Ashen subsect of the Darist religion appeared and murdered Shackley before leaving a threatening, religiously themed message and leaping out the window. With his dying breath, Dr. Shackley had asked Rust to get the data cube to Dr. Florence Stoppard, a friend and colleague of Rust's who referred him to Shackley in the first place. But for now, with Shackley dead, a security team belonging to the Crown Mining Company for whom the Doctor worked has taken Rust for questioning. But what else is happening on this planet? This trading hub, this corporate dictatorship? Metaxas. Well, that can be explained a little more simply, one hopes. In the spaceport, Jackson Mead, purveyor of canned goods, has done extremely well with sales and returned to the CS Chimera, preparing to turn in for the night and receive some additional goods in the morning to sell to help replace some of his recently lost stock. He has also heard some information about the spectral comet, namely that not long ago the instruments of a ship suddenly pointed toward it when that ship passed through a region of space known as the Null Zone. An empty place most say is best avoided due to its strange effects. A place through which the comet will be passing when it arrives. After returning to the Chimera, Jackson has provided this information to the assassin Levitt Teague. Levitt has begun talking to something. A non-physical thing that manifested as a stream of data that they found in the intercom unit in Irina Maynard's quarters. We don't quite know what it is, but I'm sure we'll eventually find out. Irina, a Darist scholar, has had a brief and prickly conversation with the local Ashen Darist leader, Olivia Phalanx, someone with whom she was once close friends. Olivia, whose people have been in a fight recently, can't imagine how that happened, is seeking transportation for some of her flock off-planet. She also seems to believe something is happening to upset the balance of the planet, but we're not completely clear on what that is, as Irina has antagonized her enough to make her leave, though a couple of other Ashens have remained behind to wait for Fergus, the ship's pilot, to see if they can hire his services. And Fergus... Well, Fergus isn't with us tonight, so those Ashens will be waiting a bit longer. He has been preparing his friend Percival to move everything out of his bookshop, however, as perhaps something terrible is going to happen to the planet soon. But for now, night has fallen. So let us zoom in first on the Chimera to see what happens when things escalate. I'm going to do something, but before I do that thing, I am going to ask, I believe we last left Jackson and Levitt. They were hanging out and drinking that evening. A little more time is going to pass before I do the thing. So is there anything that the two of you, either of you, would like to do before the thing happens?
I will leave that up to Levitt if something happens before the thing happens.
I think Levitt takes a bottle of alcohol, and after giving a sort of like up and down I'm watching you look to the cultists, goes probably back to her spot outside where she was like, sitting on top of the ship, sort of perched up, just like watching the happenings outside in the market, as the sun sets and it gets darker outside, just like keeping an eye on things, waiting for Russ to get back, that sort of thing, waiting for Fergus to get back, just being curious.
So, time
Still
passes.
drinking.
Drinking, yes. That's important.
Yeah.
Drinking does indeed happen. Do you talk to your new friend at all, or do you are you hanging back on that one until later? Either way is good. I'm just curious.
I think I'm hanging back.
Cool. So, time passes. And, nighttime. Night has fallen. It's getting a bit later into the night. Rust has not returned. Fergus has probably also not returned at this point, or if they have, we're not entirely sure what they're doing. We'll sort that out. But I think that once we hit that point where it's getting closer to, it's going to get to about the middle of the night, almost. Getting closer to the middle of the night. Not quite there yet. Then we're going to hear an alarm go off. Kind of across the, this is one of those sort of like klaxons that goes off across the outer ring, across the port. And, what we hear... You find that here? There it is. A sort of pulsing that goes off, alerting everyone. And there is still light. The port never closes per se, so there's always light here. It's just the sky is dark. Can't really see the stars very well because you've got so many lights around. Voice comes over the speakers. Your attention, please. All non-company departures are grounded until further notice. Do not attempt to leave the planet's atmosphere. Security will be conducting a thorough search of the colony. Please cooperate with them fully. More information will be provided as it becomes available. Thank you. This message begins going out on, various anyone who's keyed into the local feed. That message repeats periodically on bulletin boards and things of that nature. So that appears to be happening.
I think Levitt was still outside and sort of like falling asleep a little bit, and so she like wakes up when she hears this alarm and goes inside and like is immediately looking for everyone, like realizes that Russ isn't back, Fergus isn't back, Arena's probably like in her room, like
I think Arena's probably just closed herself up in her room.
Yeah. Probably looks for Jackson at that point. Is like going around like Jackson, do you know what's going on?
Let's see here. Security lockdown. Let's see here. Virus. It could be a virus. It could be a murder. And it could be something was stolen. Those are my top three.
Okay, well,
something very important was stolen. So have you committed any murders?
No, actually, I haven't yet. I was hired for a crime, but I haven't actually committed it yet.
Okay, I'm glad, because I'd be pretty sad if you were this sloppy. So,
To commit it, I need to get off this planet, actually, which is why I'm worried. Fergus and Rust aren't here, which has me also worried.
So, I haven't really delved all too far, but is Rust also an assassin?
No, I don't think. I mean, he's killed. I'm not going to get into that. No, he's not an assassin.
Okay. Well,
So earlier tonight, he said that he was going to an appointment with Coy Shackley, who is the husband of the person who owns the mining company here, and very strange that he would be going to see him.
why is that strange? They're both medical professionals. People
Yes,
exchange
but
journals all the time. And
But
medical
what would
advice.
Coy Shackley want with a disgraced doctor?
Maybe a bit of ha ha ha. Maybe.
Have you met Rust? Rust has never ha-ha-ha'd in his life.
No, not Rust. I mean, some people want to feel good about themselves, and they may, in fact, invite a person into their presence to do so.
Okay, fair. I think that at this point, Levitt is like pulling out her like communicator thing and checking like any sort of like contacts she might have or underground things to like see if she can find out if Rust is in trouble.
Okay. So you're going specifically looking for underground channels on this, yes?
Yeah, like searching for if anyone's heard about like for the name Rust Worsley.
Gotcha. So let me just check something here real quick. Do you have any particular moves that address something
No,
specifically like this?
I only have a fighting move.
Okay,
I can
no
kick
worries.
ass. That's about all.
No worries then. I will. I just want to check a thing here. Yes. So we could interpret as, yeah. I'm thinking this would be, yeah. This is going to be probably read a situation.
So brains.
If we wish to do that. I mean,
Is that
unless there's
brains?
someone specifically you want to talk to, this is mostly just trying to, you're just trying to read the situation as far as I can tell. Unless you
So
want to do something
bad.
else. You want to approach it a
so
different way.
not smart. Is there someone
You could ask your
specific
friend
that
to look for you.
Yeah, is
Sorry,
there
go
someone specific that I would know here that I could use beauty for? That like, I
maybe.
really need help. You always
Yeah.
help me out.
You easily you've been here. You've been to this planet before.
Yeah, that's what
Multiple
I want to
times.
do because I'm not smart.
Okay,
I'm not smart, Jim.
it's perfectly
Well, save it.
reasonable.
Have no
Watch me
savings
fail
if you
this
were
roll
smart.
anyway, though. Yeah, I'm just reaching out to someone like a contact that I like definitely like take for granted and definitely use
Okay.
to get my way. And I'm just like, I really need you to, take this name, see if you know anything about them, if you've heard anything, and let me know ASAP. And I also tell them to look for Fergus, just find out if there's anything going on with Fergus. We haven't heard from. We know that he was going to the bookseller. I just want to make sure he's still at the bookseller, or he's okay.
All right. So I'll just as a quick little thingy here. Let's see. I'm just checking.
I did roll a 9.
Oh, did you? Okay, good.
I pushed the
Yeah.
button preemptively. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you to roll. So I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm just figuring out the who it is you get in touch with here. Shall I use this for it? We could. That would make it more interesting, wouldn't it, Jim? Yes, of course it would. Great, we'll do that.
Give me a random name.
So this is, again, just to be clear, you're reaching out to someone in the underworld, right? Do you want, just before I go into this, do you want someone who's in the actual hierarchy, or do you want one of the people on the edge?
I think it's someone who has enough power that they could do things for me, but isn't someone in power. You know what I'm saying?
So like a sergeant, maybe at best, type
Yeah,
deal.
something like that. Yeah.
All right, so Lennox is a sergeant type, basically, level in the Cinder Throne.
Okay.
And he does, basically, we'll do a number of different odd jobs, might be on different jobs. Hard to say what exactly is going on. So you will, let me see, you got a 9, yes. And so let me go ahead and pull this up as we are manipulating another. They change the terms to suit themselves or demand concrete assurance first. And what is it you want from them, you said? You just are looking for information on...
Information about Russ, and then just find out if Fergus is safe, basically.
Okay. All right. And so... you start talking. You can kind of sort of can see you sort of he'll kind of respond back. I've got like got a few things I'm being scrambled to do right now. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get for you at this moment.
Lennox, darling, you've never let me down before.
he sort of says, I'll say, I know, it's just, there's a bunch of folks, there's a bunch of, I'm on a job right now. But I'm trying to get some things squared away real fast here. Can I get back to you?
How about this, Lennox? If you get these answers to me within an hour at most, tomorrow I'll let you take me on a date.
And he's sort of thinking about it. What? Yeah, okay, hang on.
Jackson rolls his eyes.
I might not, yeah, well.
Like.
She looks over at Jackson and is like, shh.
Well, I'll see what I can get you. I can't guarantee I'm going to be here tomorrow. But, you'll,
well, I mean, I always come through on my IOUs. You know that.
Eventually. All right. he says,
she doesn't argue that.
Yeah. Yeah, sooner or later. Okay, all right. Well, and I need to explain, Lennox is often hired muscle. So, he's basically, if he's on a job, that means he's either beating someone up or escorting someone or that kind of thing.
Yeah, cool.
Or killing someone, that's also possible. And he's a bit thuggish. But he says, yeah, all right. I'll ask, I'll send some pings out. I'll get back to you in about an hour.
Thank you. I always appreciate you.
Yeah, I know. It's good to hear you. Just keep your head down, will you?
It always is. And she hangs up.
So
before he can argue.
Levitt,
Yeah.
if you hate him so much, why worry?
Who are we talking about?
Russ.
Very complicated, Jackson.
Okay.
The thing is,
Nobody can kill him but you.
You got it. Why did you ask a question you already know the answer to?
It's always good to confirm. Trust but verify.
If anyone is going to make his life hell, it's going to be me.
Well,
He made mine hell, so I think I should pay back the favor.
I see.
Yep.
What if he's doing that to himself by existing with you, with the dread of what he thinks he's done to you?
What he thinks he's done to me. He did it to me. He killed my father.
Certainly. I'm talking about perspectives here. I'm in no one's head.
That's right.
If he's making his own life hell, then it's deserved.
So
I'm
that
just
means
here to make it twofold.
that means you actually have to do nothing. You could actually spend no energy doing nothing, and he could just be miserable. Yes.
Well, I'll enjoy it while I'm watching him do it. Why does it concern you, Jackson?
Because that kind of hatred is its own kind of destruction on the self.
Jackson, he made me what I am today. A very hateful, violent killer. I wouldn't be this way if he didn't do what he did.
Levitt, I'm a close friend of yours, but all the choices that you have made are still your choices.
That's fair. But
everything that you have done is your reaction to what has happened to you.
Right.
So,
but I wouldn't have had to make those choices if I wasn't put in this position. I had to survive, Jackson.
We have all had to survive, but what you decided to do is still yours, and you are making it his problem because you want to.
You're right. I do want to make it his problem.
I just don't want to watch you fall down an even deeper hole because you end run around the hatred you have for him.
Well, Jackson, I'm already going to hell with the amount of people I've killed. So...
Hell, I don't believe in that. We're not worried about hell. We're worried about the temporal, the now, the things that you can affect, the life that you're living currently. I'm not worried about the supposed hell that the ancient aliens are sending us to.
Good, because I'm not either. Haven't you ever heard of...
Go talk to Irina for that bullshit.
Haven't you ever heard of spite and hate being the best motivator? Don't you have someone you hate or you spite that makes you do what you do? You're a very successful businessman.
I think one's own success is the best remedy for anything.
I'm very lucky to have a friend like you with your infinite wisdom and advice, Jackson. I mean that sincerely.
Those who have done me ill, the best thing I can do is succeed despite them.
I hope to one day. I hope to be like you, Jackson. Maybe it'll take more time. We all grieve in our own way in our own length of time.
I understand.
Maybe I'm still grieving.
I'm just here to give some counsel. That's all.
When I lost my father, I lost my family. And I lost someone I loved very much in Rust. I've had to recover from a lot.
I've never gotten the full of it. Do you think he did it on purpose?
I think you see her. There's definite hesitation there. Like, she does not know how to answer that question. And you can tell, like, you know Levitt well enough to know that she's not even trying to bullshit you. Like, she genuinely does not know. And I think she looks away for a moment. And when she looks back at you, she just says, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he did it. And I can't find it in myself to forgive right now.
I understand. I want you to think about that, about the idea that intent does mean something.
I understand. I'm going to go wait for an answer from Linux, and I'll update you on what I hear. We might have to do a rescue mission tonight, who knows? Yeah, I think she's gonna go like to her own quarters and like sober up a little. She's not that drunk, but like sober up a little, wake up a little bit, drink some coffee, and wait to hear from Linux.
What's Jackson doing?
Jackson is going to just kind of sit with that knowledge and go back to his quarters and rustle the Rust like the Rust pamphlet for a minute, thinking about it and just
So
just like kind of contemplate all of that.
Yes. Yeah. Jackson, I think that
And then call a person he shouldn't call to ask for information who he knows who would answer his questions directly.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well then, instead of what I was about to say, I'm much more interested in this.
Little Miss Flirt, we're gonna call her because I know she'll know, and I know she'll answer.
Okay. All right. So it the comm rings for a moment, and then you and then you we'll hear Signe Norman on the other end. She says, "Oh, Mr. Mead, good to hear from you. Is everything all right?"
Honestly, I was a bit worried about you because all of the klaxons. Do you know what's going on?
Oh, that, yes. I think that, well, I don't know if you looked at the news feed, but it looks like someone's trying to send some kind of a message. It looks like they infiltrated one of the towers over at Crown Mining.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's very exciting.
Oh,
it's a religious thing, looks like.
It's a religious thing. Do you have any details? I don't have a feed in my ship. I'm back at the ship.
Oh, sure. Just a moment. Does your communication device allow images?
Sure.
Okay. She'll patch you in. And you'll see, because like a lot of people are taking pictures of this, it's very obvious. Although there's a certain amount of, I think there's a certain amount of control trying to be put down on these things getting sent. But she seems to be able to send this to you just fine. You can see an image of one of the towers. It's not the main tower, but one right next to it. Across the top window, written in red. In red, it's a programmable window, so you can do. It's possible to do this with it. You see written in big shining letters, "You are in the scales of the Magister and will be judged."
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's going to put a little bit of a damper on things, but I think think we'll manage.
While you're at it, could you scrounge me an access pass to leave the planet, because I still have business to do.
Okay. So this is the point at which we need you to manipulate another. I would like you to roll plus beauty. Unless you have another move for this.
How dare you judge Levitt when you're going to turn around and do the same damn thing, Hollow? How dare you?
Look,
You waited till Levitt left to do this.
well, yes, I can't let people see that I'm a conniving bastard. That'd be
You
awful.
hypocrite.
I can't let people see I'm awful, because that would be awful.
After making Levitt feel guilty and question things, you do that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm the confidant, not the great, perfect, and kind. Well, I don't like that.
Interesting. Okay. Let me look at something real quick. I just want to...
This is what happens when you're conniving.
Just got to check a note real quick.
Honesty is the best policy, and that's why when you do honest, good, truthful rolls, you get good things happen to you.
Yeah, when you're honest about using someone, you get 9.
Whatever.
Instead of 2 1s.
It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
sure it's fine. It's probably fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I actually have to probably go on a date, unlike some other people. God.
Well, so here's
Instead of
what
date, I think.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, what she replies, she says, "Well, it's possible. I think it's possible. I'm wondering if maybe you would be interested, however, in maybe helping me out with something."
One good turn deserves another, of course.
I think I can arrange something, but we have a kind of a specific way that we need to do it. Let me look into a few things, and I'll be by in the morning with when your shipment arrives. And unless you need to get off, do you need to get off sooner? Are you okay there for now?
I'm fine for now. We just need to leave when in the morning when my shipment arrives.
All right. Yes, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Yes. We're going to have to leave by a very specific route. And, there's just some things I wanted to, I just wanted to show you, see what you thought. But,
of course.
You've got a little time. Excellent. Wonderful. I'll see you in the morning then.
Of course.
I'm so looking forward
to it. Looking forward to it.
Oh, me too, Jackson. I really am. And she will ring off.
Yes. I forward the tower information to Levitt. I also I have accidentally procured a date. I need unguents. Don't ask.
Levitt's just like message you back. Would you like the rest of my alcohol? I'll leave it outside your room.
They won't be by until the morning.
And she's like, oh no, I meant for you alone tonight.
No, I'll be fine.
She does look out to see the tower, though. Do those words mean anything to her, Jim?
So that is, yeah. It's that you think that is something that that some Darists use when they're talking about one of their gods, the Ashen Darists in particular.
Okay, so it's the cult thingy.
Ashen propaganda is what it sounds like. It's very recognizable.
Okay, I take just in case it goes away, I take a photo. I don't know how space works. Take a photo and I send it to Arena.
Yeah. You'll need to get into a position where you can see the tower. That's not going to be a problem. You just have to go out onto the ring and find the thing and do the thing.
I want to make sure Arena is able to have this for a long time. I want to make sure Arena has it to study and look at it and have proof of it.
Yeah. So actually, that does mean you're gonna in order to get into position, because you can't see it right from the port. You do have to get to a certain place.
That's fine. I'll walk out a little bit into the market. Yeah, no big deal.
All right, I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
Once with a little more information. But first, we need to have a little interrogation. I mean, questioning happen. We're going to shift over as we are heading into the inner ring. And we're going to go into that tower and down a ways, and actually over a ways. Probably we're going to go closer to the base of the main tower, which is where Crown Security is located. The
So
security, yeah, security hub for Crown Mining. And you're gonna see, they're a little bit of their security apparatus, as you see that security teams are being scrambled to different locations. The sort of central figure that is giving directions to everyone is this kind of big kind of stocky fellow, with dark hair slicked back and sort of a broad face. He is wearing some kind of insignia, some kind of rank insignia. But everyone is apparently listening to what he says. And he's going to gesture, and they're going to take you into a room. And in this room, you will wait. As everyone panics outside.
How small is this room?
This room is about... It's not big. It's I want to say probably, a good kind of... about the size of an interrogation room. It's about 5x7 type deal probably. As I'm imagining. There's a table, and there's a mirror in the wall. You're not confined necessarily, but they've asked you to sit in there. And there are people out there. There are big beefy security types keeping an eye on you. After a little bit,
So happy.
everything hanging in there. Is Rust hanging in there okay? While waiting?
He's in his unhappy place.
Ah. Understood. I can't imagine why. So after a while, as time has crawled by, this guy will come into the room that you saw earlier. And he will look you up and down. You know, and he's looking at a file while he's doing this. He's got like a thing in hand that's a little sort of clear plastic. It's stuff printed on clear plastic pages against a sort of a background. He's sort of looking at a hard copy. And he puts it, okay. Rust Worsley, yes.
Dr. Rust Worsley.
Of course. You'll come in. Dr. Worsley, I wanted to get your statement as untainted by whatever these other fellows might have wanted to sort of point you in any particular direction. I just want to know exactly what it is that happened. As you can imagine, we're on rather high alert at the moment.
Well, I was in the other room. I heard it happen. I didn't see it happen.
Go on.
Well, there was a crash. And then I exited the room. And I saw the doctor on the floor. Did you collect the projectile?
And he says, we did.
Well, then you know what was sticking out of his chest. And the assailant was still there. I tried to go to him, to the doctor, but I was shot at. And I didn't make the attempt a second time. And then the assassin left. I went to the doctor's side. He gave me a file related to my medical appointment. And then he passed away.
I have an important question for you, Rust. On your way in, they probably would have asked you to hand. They probably would have searched you and asked you to hand over, asked you to hand over the cube. Did you do that?
Well, did they notice the cube?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Or could I have been?
Did you try to conceal that? Did you try to conceal the cube?
I think I did.
Okay, so first off, we're going to need an acting under pressure roll for this, unless you have something particular to concealing information.
Well, not really.
Okay, well, actually,
my one move is better off alone, which is when you reject the help of others and enter danger alone.
Oh, I see.
Roll plus brawn, but
maybe depends. I'll tell you what. Actually, for this,
is Rust a sleeper? Is Rust like the sleeper who's gonna murder us all?
Maybe. I don't know.
plus brawn? Oh, crap.
It could be. We're not sure what's happening. Actually, I'll tell you what. Actually, don't bother rolling. We'll go ahead and just say that because narratively I'm realizing it's fine either way here. But since you just told him this, he says, I see. You still have it with you?
Yes?
May we see it, please?
No. That is my confidential medical information. And you should know, working for a doctor, the kind of laws that are in place to protect patient confidentiality.
If it is indeed what you say, then he will have coded it in a fashion that we cannot read it. So it should be fine.
So it should be fine if you don't see it.
We need
as
to
you'll
verify,
get no information
sir.
from it either way.
We need to verify that, sir. We have to make an attempt to read it to verify that.
I don't see how my personal medical status is of relevance to this investigation.
It's hard to see what's of relevance to an investigation up front, so you got to collect what information you can. Right now, you're the only one present. You're the only witness right now. So we're going to need that we're going to need to know if there's anything possible placing you there that might be involved here. We need to see if there's any relevance.
I would like it noted that I am performing this action under protest. And I take out a cube.
It is so noted.
And I guess...
And he gestures to someone beyond the mirror when he says that. And he will take the cube, and someone will drift in as he's taking it, and he will hand them the cube. They will leave the room with it. He says, could you describe the assailant, please?
They were dressed in the robes of the Ashendarists, but it seemed apparent to me that they were not a member of that sect, but rather a professional.
What makes you say that, sir?
When you associate with the kind of people that I do, you quickly learn how to tell the difference between someone who knows what they're doing and someone who doesn't.
What kind of people do you associate with?
You have my file.
And leans back and says, yes, but as you're out here at the arse end of the galaxy, sometimes information doesn't always get in very quickly.
This is old information.
And he leans forward and he just says, I'm just wondering what is it that would make you go to that so soon? Is the idea just to cry out that you associate with people who are what, unsavory?
Everyone is associated with unsavory people. I'm just not afraid to admit it.
he'll look at the file for a second, and he says, "You're the surgeon for the CS Chimera, yes?"
Yes.
So are you referring to your employer or your clientele?
My clientele is usually as a result of my employer.
That bad a pilot, is he?
I think you misunderstand. I'm saying that circumstances are such that the only injured people that I encounter are those aboard the ship. No matter the circumstances of their injury, it often has very little to do with the pilot or the employer.
Just whoever hires you, then.
Just whoever hires me.
All right. Do we want to take a... I realize this is an odd time. Do we want to take a quick break? Do we need to realign some things real quick?
Sure.
Okay. We're going to jump to break a little bit, and we will. I've got an interview on. I'm going to throw that up, and we'll be back in a little bit. See you momentarily. Welcome to the break. I am here with Brian. Hello.
Hello, Jim. How you doing?
I am doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something.
I rarely know what I'm doing either.
Tell me about it. But today, we're doing a thing. We're going to breach a very dangerous topic now. We're going to talk about the Amber Diceless role-playing game.
I mean, I pretty much just walk around talking about the Amber Diceless role-playing game anyway. So
Yes.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to also do it here. Thank you.
Excellent. This may take a while. We'll see what we can do.
I'll do my best to keep it short.
It's not just him. You'll
Right,
see.
no.
You'll see. But that is a game that I have run on this channel. I did a mini campaign. So folks may recognize it if you've watched this channel for a while. Folks may recognize it from Life. But in case folks may not know what it is we're talking about, tell us, what is the Amber Diceless role-playing game?
As the title implies, it is based on the Amber novels that were written by Roger Zelazny, largely in the 70s and 80s. And the game itself was published in 1991 by Eric Wujcik. And there's a interesting story about that I'm not going to go into, but feel free to go to the Wikipedia page for the Amber Diceless game because it's got a lot of great information. But the game itself, also, it's diceless. It's right there in the title. And it was, if not the first diceless game, easily one of the first diceless games. And the reason he decided to make it diceless was because the way that the stories happen in the books, usually what you would have is you'd have one person that was much better at sword fighting than another person, but then the person that was worse at sword fighting might be stronger than the other person. So if they were in some sort of conflict, the stronger person would try to fix it so that they were wrestling, but the sword fighting person would definitely try to keep it that way. So in a fair fight, if you have a higher score than the other person does, then you win. That's it. And then if anything else comes up at you, the game master will usually have an idea of for example, NPCs or adversaries or anything like that, where they stand on certain levels and how likely you are to be able to defeat them. And honestly, that's mostly it. The rest of the rules are about how to do the different powers in the books, which is one of my favorite things, because the point of the novels is that you've got this group of people that are able to travel from world to world, and what world to world means in this case is sort of alternate realities.
Yeah.
So our Earth is just one of those, and then anything that you can imagine, you can travel to, and then so that makes it a lot of fun as a player and a huge challenge as a game master. Because if a player comes up to you and says, I'm going to go to a place where the trees are pink and everyone worships me, I'm like, okay, great. Now I have to figure out that quickly and do that. So it's also really good for improvisation. And other than that, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of the other stuff. You can read about it. Oh, and I will say, the Amber Diceless game is out of print, but you can still find copies of it in a bunch of places. You can still technically get PDFs at DriveThruRPG, and Wright Publishing published Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, which uses the same system.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for it, you can get it. You can get the same system, and it's a really similar setting over on those. And I've run and played both, and I like them a lot.
Yeah, I ran a one shot of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow on this channel, and folks may see we did one. We did a one shot of that.
Yep, that was a lot of fun.
And I did find certain things different. I think that I like the broader mandate that Amber gives as far as the ability for PCs to go anywhere. There are more specific channels you have to use.
Right.
In Lords of Gossamer and Shadow. I have a theory about that I won't go into right now. This entire conversation is going to be, I won't go into this right now, but I'll talk about this.
Yeah,
just
we're trying to keep it short.
There's so much. There's a lot. I'm going to say here, just as for context, folks, you were talking about being a good game for improvisation. That is basically the game that taught me how to improvise as a GM.
Me too. 100%.
It's the first running that game. That's the first game I ran that made me actually a better GM.
Yeah.
And
one other thing that I really like, if you can get your hands on the original book, and again, DriveThruRPG has it, the game master advice in that book is not, most of it is not specific to running Amber. It's just good game master advice. So every now and then what I'll do is I'll go get my Amber book before I run a game, and I'll read through it just to remind myself and give myself kind of to energize myself for no matter what I'm running.
I need to go back actually and reread some of that just to see how well some of it's held up, because I don't know right now as of this conversation, because I haven't read it in quite a while. But I imagine that there are a lot of things. There are a lot of games that came about later that had a lot of formative. Their designers had formative Amber experiences as well, and so that kind of turned into other games. You've heard of Fate, haven't you? That was one of them.
Yep. That's why Fate exists.
Yeah. So it's just I think really cool. Also, as a side note, also. As folks may not be aware, we actually met while you were running Amber.
Yeah, we would not be having this conversation, and I wouldn't have run or played any of the games on Jim's channel that I did if not for the Amber Diceless game, because I was running it, and as I recall, a friend of yours saw us doing that and came to get you.
Yeah.
So
that was the funny part, because he was in the Amber campaign I was running back home.
Gotcha.
And so and he just brought me up and he was like, "Do you know what they're doing? Do you know what this is?" Said, "No, what is it? This is Amber." Like,
yeah.
What? And it was neat. I only caught the tail end of that game, but
I think we were. That was at Dragon Con one year, right?
Yeah, 1 year Dragon Con. But that is the thing. It's I guess what else? What do you think it is about this game that drives us to such distraction? This game from the 1990s.
I know. Well, first off, in so many ways, it was ahead of its time. I think it was just okay. I think it was the thing we were talking about before, where you can, as a player, you can literally do anything you can imagine. Your character is able to do so many things. And if you don't have to have read the Amber novels,
Yeah.
but I think it helps. But I've run games for people that never read them and still haven't read them and still got into the setting. So I think part of it is that setting, and you've got that family bond
Yeah.
instantly. You're already related to some of the people, probably most of the other player characters, which
Yeah.
to me kind of helps.
That's true. That's true. There is this basically
Yeah.
these families at either end of the universe, essentially, if you want to think of it
Right.
that way, either end of the multiverse, who are sort of in this thing that later I think inspired Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But
You may be right.
but yeah. So it's like, how do you normally introduce somebody? Let's say they've never read any of the books. They're not familiar with the game. How do you normally introduce someone?
I got to the point where I actually just wrote up a quick, and believe it or not, you can write up a quick summary of the setting. I don't go into the history too much of things that
Yeah.
happened, except for there's a couple of points where it's important, but mostly, I encourage them to play someone that isn't particularly familiar with what's happening in the city of Amber, which is at the center of everything. But I do give them information on what the different powers are, how they work, and how they interact with each other. And then from that point, if they're not familiar with it at all, I literally start with like what the powers are and the general idea of the setting, the whole multiverse thing. And I can fit that on one page, and then I send that to them. And then if they have any questions, we talk it back and forth. So that's usually how I get people started.
Cool. Yeah, it's like I remember that back when I was running it more regularly, I used to do this thing where it was just like, okay, what kind of character would you like to play from what genre?
That's good
And,
too. That's really good.
I just sort of
Yeah.
I just sort of throw them in there. I try to be a little more. I try to help the players be a little more informed about it nowadays. I think the last time I ran it on this channel, we did this kind of more. Everyone participated in a little bit of world building to create a new version of Amber.
I remember that. Yeah, I thought that was a good idea.
I think I felt like that helped, just as far as giving players a little more investment as far
Agreed.
as it goes. Because I will say the one thing that I think that Lords of Gossamer and Shadow does have over the Amber Diceless RPG is that it does decentralize the power.
And that's helpful in a lot of ways.
You don't have to be a member of one of these families
Yep.
to be able to do whatever you
Yeah,
need
you can
to.
just be a person with the special powers, and you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about everybody being your cousin. Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
depending on how you want to play it. And I've done it both
Yeah.
ways and had fun. But yeah, you're right. I like a lot of the stuff about the Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, and the way they, like you said, the way they decentralized it. I like the way that they have split the poles. Because it's sort of the same, because in the Amber setting, it's sort of breaks down into order and chaos.
Yeah.
And Lords of Gossamer and Shadow kind of does the same thing, but the focus on each one is a little different, which I actually enjoy. I like
Yeah.
it that it gives each player a way to personalize that power a little more, which I like.
Yeah, definitely. There are so many things we could talk about here. We may someday in the future come back and do a part 2. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I'm up for it. So
Yeah, but because there's just so much. There's too much. As
Yeah.
I said. So if this conversation has felt like a fire hose to you, I'm sorry. That is, alas, the nature of this particular thing with us.
But unfortunately, I regret to inform you that we have barely scratched the surface.
We have. There's too much. So
yeah,
hopefully this is
Maybe we'll do a part 2. I like that idea.
maybe hopefully
Yeah.
this has been the least bit intelligible. I recommend checking it out. It's not it wasn't necessarily the be all end all, as there have been other games since then that I have played that have also affected how I play and run games in kind of fundamental ways. And things have evolved since then in the way that RPGs are written and our understanding of them. And so it's important, I think, also when reading it to understand that this book does come from the previous century. But there's just so much that I think just fundamentally is different from what was the case at the time, which was your D&D, your Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
The champions, that kind of thing. So it's just for me it was mind blowing.
Same.
Well, folks, we will perhaps come back to this another time. But I'm going to just conclude this by asking you if folks want to find you online, where should they go?
I'm Vaclam at most of the things. That's VAKLAM, or Malcav backwards for my fellow 90s gamers. Mm-hmm. I also am doing a podcast these days with my friend Quinn Murphy. Just look for Infectious Enthusiasm at all of your podcast places. And it is largely Pathfinder 2nd Edition based. We talk about things we like about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and then we compare them to other games. One of which actually at one point was Amber Diceless. So we've got a lot of stuff in there that we basically just want to make sure everybody knows about.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to toss things over to my future self. So we will see you folks all of a sudden.
Thanks a lot.
We have returned. Alas, Hollow had to dive out due to real life. And we wish him the best. We will see him back next time. But we are going to go ahead and continue with what we have here. We have a few more things to wrap up in this game evening. So we'll go ahead and and we shall keep going. So Rust is seated across from this person who has not yet actually even given a name. But I think the next thing that he's going to ask, just sort of as he's looking over things, your pilot, Mr. Fergus. You have any idea where he's likely to be this time around?
How is that relevant?
You are connected to this event, whether you like it or not. That means we have to investigate every avenue. You understand that, right? You understand what has happened?
Yes. Investigating Fergus would be a mistake and a waste of resources.
Why do you say that?
That man would not hurt a fly.
That's fine. We may need to talk to him. Do you have any idea where he would be right now? We're having a little difficulty locating him, you see.
If he's not at the ship, then I don't know where he is.
Very well. Oh, God. Well, okay. I think this is the moment. This is the moment where we're gonna need, like an act under pressure or something to determine which way things are leaning right now.
Of whether I'm gonna get arrested or not.
Possibly. We could do this as manipulate another, if you've got a specific thing you want out of this. I could see doing it with that, but aside from that, it would probably be act under pressure.
Well, what I want is to get out of this.
Yeah.
And to get my doctor's notes back.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we were trying to make this seem, as
I'm trying to make this seem like this is stupid because I wasn't even. I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
I'm so not threatening.
Just a sad little guy.
Just a sad
I'm
little
just
guy.
like a sopping wet, sad,
From all
depressed
your
little guy.
tears, sopping wet from all your tears.
Yes.
Okay,
and from
so
being left out in the rain. No one will let him in their house, so he's stuck out in the rain.
If you're cold, he's cold. Let him in.
Okay, so go ahead and make your sad little guy roll.
This is with beauty,
Yes.
because I'm doing manipulating another. Oh!
Okay.
You're so sad.
So, for NPCs, they ask you to promise something first. So we'll work that in. And so he's like, my apologies, Dr. Worsley. It's, as you can imagine, it's been a rather difficult night. given what's happened.
Yes, given what's happened.
We're going to have to put the we're going to have to put some. We're going to have to ground air traffic up until from any non-company sources for the moment, up until we can get this sorted out. He said they were dressed in the fashion, but I do have just a few more questions for you, and then we're going to get you out of here. Is that all right?
I suppose so.
I'll make this fast. You said that it was someone who was not, you think, an Ashendarist, just dressed like one.
Yes.
Are you sure?
As certain as I am of anything.
I'm going to show you something. And he takes out a remote, and this holographically displayed but two-dimensional image comes up against one wall, and near one wall, and you see security camera footage. And you see the office. You see the person in the Ashen's robes. He's not going to show you the murder again, but he's zoomed in. That's the individual, right?
Yes.
He's going to zoom further in, and you're going to see that he says, there's something unusual did happen. He zooms in, and you can see that there's the facial area where you can look under, there's a hood, but under that it's blurry. Which you'd think a camera would be able to pick up if they've got, state-of-the-art imaging or whatever. And he says, we suspect they're using some sort of device. But they wanted us to see the robes. Did you get a look at what could you see of the face, if anything?
What could I have seen of the face?
You saw the mask. This is sort of the black. It's one of those black masks that comes entirely, sort of a hooded mask that comes entirely over the face. There were goggles, and there was a voice changer. Basically, you realized that they had as part of that getup. But yeah, they were all just basically. It's like the sort of people swaddled entirely in this black kind of mesh gear, I would say.
Yeah, so I tell that to my interrogator.
All right. Yeah, we're probably looking for someone who's And I assume you haven't had. I assume you haven't had much contact with any of these folks, any of the whoever this is, understandably, but the Ashendaris sect. There's nothing you'd seen prior to this point. Where they've been unusually in touch with you.
I've not been in touch with them.
All right. Well, listen, and he's sort of starting to get up. We're gonna let you. We're gonna release you on your own recognizance, but I'd just like to ask that you make yourself available if we have further questions later. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Very good. And, the secondary, I know that the guard comes back in and hands him the cube, and he says, they say a couple words for saying to him, verified, by the way, this is, we were not able to look into it. He has protected the files, so only another physician with your permission should be able to look at it. And he hands the cube back. He'll hold out the cube back to you.
I'm going to take it.
Right. The sergeant here will escort you out.
And who are you?
There's, he's as he's getting up, security chief, Elliot Lanyon.
Well, I can't say that it's been a pleasure.
Understandable. And, you say,
And then I'll leave. Because I'm pissed.
yeah. And, the guard will escort you out of the building. And when you get out onto the lawn area outside, they have this artificial lawn that goes all the way around the towers. They will they'll escort you that far, and then they'll be like, "Be careful, sir," and
I would like to head back to the ship, but I would like to make sure that I'm not being followed.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Would that be acting under pressure?
Actually, I think I'm just going to... No, this one I think I can just let you know. That they are too busy to follow you right now.
Okay.
Something you're going to be able to tell pretty quickly. At least not unless
I'm
they...
small potato.
Yeah, unless they send like a drone or something, but they've got all the drones working to try to figure out who the hell this is. To try to find the assassin.
Fair enough.
And so, yeah, they're they're all over the place right now. It's kind of it's kind of chaotic, and you will note the further away you get from the inner ring, the more chaotic it gets, because you have these security officers running back and forth trying to cover a very wide area.
Okay.
So yeah, you're gonna make it back without any problems. And I think now I need to head over to Levitt so that we can deal with that which remains. So you went out, you were heading out and getting photos. You will notice that as you go out and you take photos of the tower from one of the, you have to go to one of the bridges from the outer ring to the inner ring to be able to get in a position you can see it and see the thing. But you can zoom with whatever, I'm gonna presume it's fine. There are a lot of guards about. And they are trying to, out looking for suspicious things. There are a lot of guards around looking for something.
Can I try to listen in and see what's happened?
Yeah, you can try to do that. I think that one of my other questions, though, is obviously you're trying not to be noticed, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like being stealthy, but I am definitely trying not to, bring attention to myself, keeping my head down, that sort of thing.
So yeah, I think what we're gonna do then is we're just gonna read it. Unless you have something specific to this, we're gonna read a situation.
Cool. Brains, right?
Yep.
A 7. It's not a fail.
All right. So that means you get 2 questions, and you're gonna get +1 to for any of when you're acting on the answers to these questions.
Okay, so my question is, what should I be on the lookout for? Do you want both questions at the same time, or do you want me to wait for the answer and then the next one?
That's a great question. You can go ahead and tell me if you know which ones you want both right now. You can tell me those, but I may ask you to repeat one of them.
Okay.
Afterwards.
So, what should I be on the lookout for? That's sort of like me hearing, like, what happened, so I should also be looking out for that,
Mm-hmm.
And then what's my best way in, out, or past is also tying into that, like, how do I get sort of past these guards to hear more information is sort of what
Gotcha.
it's basically revolving around me picking up what's being said so I can get, the deets.
Okay, so you're able to pretty quickly figure out sort of where you already know basically where the security offices are, and so there's certain places where you can stand to try to hear things without revealing yourself too much. I think that so what should I be on the lookout for? So yeah. In their communications, there's a lot of scrambling right now. They're trying to react to a very immediate situation. And you think back to the 3 options that Jackson mentioned. Virus, murder, or I think the third was theft of some kind, possibly. And at first they're referring to the perpetrator a number of times. And after a little while, because almost as though you kind of know what to look for something like this, you realize they're talking about a murderer.
Okay.
So they are, and here's the other thing, they're looking for Ashendarists. Actually, they're just sort of, yeah, they're looking for Darists in general, specifically Ashendarists.
Can I pick up who was murdered? Because I know this is where Rust went, and so I'm a little worried.
Now, they're not going to specify in this who it was, but it sounds like, here's the thing, some of them are a little rattled, so you think it was someone important to them, so probably not Rust?
Probably not Rust, yeah. Okay. Okay, cool.
So that's, as far as be on the lookout for, it's like, yeah, they're going to be out trying to hunt down, they're like on the warpath looking for Darists, and especially Ashendarists. And you hear them even mention Blue Armband. You hear Blue Armband, Gray. Blue Armband, gray hooded cloak, gray hooded robe. And they might have ditched it. They might be looking at it, and then might be using some kind of cloaking technology. Visually cloak themselves, or from cameras. And which immediately are thinking, oh, that ups the price situation, for something like this. And something about, climbing, very agile climbing gear as sort of You listen for a little bit, you gather they rappelled down the outside of the tower.
And this tower's no joke. Like, it's a big tower.
It's one of the tallest towers in the city.
That's what I thought, yeah. Because it's the Crown Mining Company tower. Like, it's it's the big boy. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And, so this is their suspect that they're looking for. That's you. This clearly is why they grounded all the flights.
Okay.
And it occurs to you also, best way in, way out, or way past. They're looking for an assassin. So it's in your interest not to provide them with one. Should they be looking around?
I'm great. I'm not an Ashendaris.
True. Very true.
I don't even pretend to be one.
There are a couple of them that were huddled by your ship when you left.
Yeah, that's
You might want to
true.
get them to move, maybe, if they haven't already.
Okay. Hearing all this information, I'm still like laying low because I do clock that, like, if someone was to, on the off chance, recognize me, I would be a suspect, and I really don't want to get into anything right now.
Yeah.
And I am going to like has Linux contacted me?
Ah, yes, Linux needs to call you back. Let me check a thing. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of muttering, a lot of rumbling right now, as people are being disrupted. Yes, Linux is gonna call you back. I assume you're going to move to a more secure place to answer it.
I dip into like a relatively quiet alleyway. Yeah. And like as I'm in there, I'm sort of like looking out every now because I'm trying to keep, because I knew this is where Rust went. I am trying to keep a lookout for Rust. And maybe I don't know if he's still in there or if he's come out. I am like looking and I'm talking and like, looking as well.
Yeah. Okay. And you asked Linux to look into basically try to figure out where Rust and Fergus went. Was that right? Was there anything else that...
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me see. There was something that I wanted to make sure Linux mentioned. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So. All right. You got a second?
Yeah, I'm
Are you somewhere safe
outside.
right now?
Well, how would you define safe? I'm outside of Crown Mining Company.
Oh, wonderful. Did you actually go right up to where Crown Mining? Did you actually go to the inner ring?
No, I'm like I'm in the out. I'm like not near the grass or anything. I'm on the outskirts of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like on the edge of the outer ring or whatever, or on one of the bridges or something from the outer to the inner? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure.
Just enough so I could be nosy, but not where, I could probably be seen if someone looked hard enough, but I'm taking advantage of them being like chaotic right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's very chaotic.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently, I didn't see him myself, but apparently Fergus is around.
That's good to know.
Yeah, he's been helping out. He's been helping out that fellow who owns the paper vault. Been getting concerned basically back and forth with that. Actually, no, he knows who that is. I forget. He actually knows who that is. He's been helping out. He's actually, so he says he's been helping out the fellow who owns the paper vault. They've had some business with Percy. Percy's been going kind of nuts, apparently.
I mean,
but that's none of my business.
I wouldn't assume he would do anything with this anyway, but good to know he's safe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all its own thing. But, as far as your doctor friend, if that doctor friend, my last understanding, asking around, he went into the ground mining building and has not come out yet. But if that, so that's all I've got there. I was just able to confirm that. But listen, something else I do need to tell you. It's kind of important. And I need to let you know this quickly before I listen, because I may have to hop on board something in a moment.
Linux, come on, tell me what's going on.
All right. I don't get involved in any of your business, but are you familiar with a fella named Hickory?
Yes. Unfortunately.
Well, I was overhearing him. I was overhearing him. I'm having to do a bit of. I'm being lent out right now and having to do a little bit of work alongside him. And he knows you're here.
Oh. What does that mean exactly?
I don't know exactly. It's just that some kid had him a flyer and then he went crazy.
God damn it.
And saw something on the kid or something. Apparently he's ranting about this pin.
You're working with him?
Yeah, more's the pity.
Linux, I am begging you, please keep him off of my scent as long as you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He will... When I tell you he will not hesitate to kill me, I am not joking. He will... there are a lot of people who want me dead for good reason. And Hickory is no different. He will rip my legs and my arms from my body. Yeah, probably. And that's probably the nicest thing he'll do. Yeah.
All right then. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be doing what I got to do. But it's shouldn't, I imagine, get into any of that now. And
I'll lay low. I did see someone who works with him earlier today. I just didn't assume that meant he was here. I didn't know if they were still in contact or anything. She didn't see me, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What's her name, Jim? I can't remember what her name was.
Oh, Scylla.
Scylla? Is he still in contact with someone? Is someone working with him named Scylla?
Yeah, no, she's here. She's
Okay, fuck. Okay.
Yeah, we're about to go on a job actually in not too very long. We're about to go on a job in not too very long. We're probably not going to be on planet much longer.
What job? Where are you going?
They wouldn't tell me, would they?
I was just wondering if you were privy to the information.
No,
okay. You're not.
No, not quite. No, that's a little above. They decided to keep that a little above my station.
Do you at least know the location of where you're going? How are you getting off the planet if it's shut down?
Oh, they're taking care of all that. Apparently they've got an in with somebody. whoever's employing them has got an inn right now. It's very strange and complicated. But no, his crew is over on the Timberwolf. Just so you'll know. So if you're out in the docks, just avoid that ship.
Thank you, Linux, for telling me. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, keep him off my scent as much as you can.
I will do my best.
I hang up. I'm going to go back to the docks, and I'm going to go sneak around to the Timberwolf. I need to know. I need to know.
Oh, are you ready for this?
No, I'm not.
Excellent. Great. You go to the docks, try to find the Timberwolf. So... I'm going to,
I will, as I'm walking, I will send a message to Russ, and it just says, "You better not be dead or arrested," and that's all I send.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. And, so, you're going to try to sneak over and spy on the Timberwolf.
How close is the Timberwolf to the Chimera?
It's a big enough port that it's probably on a different, they're sort of like mini hubs.
Okay.
It's probably on a different mini hub.
Cool.
So I would say that, this, yes, no, I think we're gonna have to do this as acting under pressure. I feel as though that's where we are with this.
What is that, balance?
It is balance.
Oh, shit,
Unless you have another move that's...
9! I'm okay with that.
9. You falter, buckle, or break. The GM can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. So, I
mean, considering I thought I would fail, I'll take a hard bargain, ugly choice, or, I'm good.
Yeah. You're going to be able to find the Timberwolf. Either way. You're going to... So here's the, here's your bargain, right? Here's your offer.
Okay.
So when you're gonna see Hickory and Scylla boarding the Timberwolf. And there are others with them. And so if you want to be able to clearly see any of the others, you will probably have to get close enough that, or have any sense of what they're doing, I should say. If you want to get close enough to either have a sense of what they're doing or see who's with them, then someone is going to spot you.
Can I posit this? The person that spots me, can I roll my special true professional roll and inflict terrible harm to them?
Let me see. That's under mercenary. Yes.
Yeah. I'm a true professional.
When you inflict terrible harm in combat. Oh well, yeah. That's going to be. I mean, you'll have a chance to. Yes, you'll have a chance to fight them if you wish.
Yeah, because I have my silenced revolver, so I just they see me and I just pow pow doo doo doo.
Oh, certainly, absolutely. You'll have that opportunity to make that roll.
That's what I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just one person that sees me, right? That's gonna raise.
It's going to be one person who sees you. Yes.
Yeah. Then I'm going to. Yeah, I will try to get closer. I notice that this person is seeing me. I just go shit, fuck, and then I grab my ornate revolver and I'm gonna try to put a bullet in their brain.
Gotcha. So I need to explain though who you see.
Oh no.
So
Not fair.
they are trying very hard to be sneaky right now, all of them. As they get on, some of them are less sneaky than others. Lennox is with them. And a few other thugs, a few other Cinder Throne thugs are with them. So and again, as specified, it's Hickory and Scylla, and there is, you note, among the thugs, there's this individual who's trying to conceal themselves sort of nonchalantly in the crowd of thugs. But they are dressed all in black, in sort of military-grade mesh gear. Sort of the head to toe, including a mask with goggles and a voice changer. And as they are trying to hustle onto the ship, that one will turn and be looking right at you.
Do they have a blue armband?
Oh no, they're not currently wearing a Darist cloak right now. They're just wearing the gear.
I'm gonna shoot them.
All right. I love this for you.
Gonna be brawn. An 8. Okay. 7.
Okay.
Choose one.
You choose one of these options.
So, what does this mean? Do I kill them? What happens there?
One moment.
Because I have the options, but I want to know how they reflect in the play.
Stand by.
Okay.
Let me grab the let me grab the thing. Arm and healing. Yes.
Because this does, if you need it, it does. I don't think it matters for NPCs. I think it matters more to PCs, but it does 2 harm.
Does 2 harm. No, that's absolutely fine. I will tell you ahead of time, this is an exceptional NPC.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do if you're doing terrible harm, then that's going to they're going to need immediate medical attention one way or the other. Probably. Let me look at the thing. Yeah, there it is. And so it's gonna happen one way or the other.
Okay, so
But,
I think what I want to happen, because I think the best option is for them to to leave so I can, because I don't want to like get on the ship or anything. I just want to get a better look and see if I can see where they're going. I think, your opinion, Jim, would it better for them to retreat to a safe distance or be afraid of me? Because like I don't want them to raise the alarm. Like I want to get a quick peek.
Yeah, it would probably.
Like it's between those options to me.
Yeah. I think that it's probably going to end up better for you if they retreat to a safe distance because they have numbers.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then yeah, I would like my enemy to retreat to a safe distance, and then I probably like run up hiding behind something or, you know, doing something like that, just so I can try to get a try to get a little eek, like a little listen poo to see if I can hear where they're going or like some sort of information so I can, because my concern is that they've been hired to do the same job I have. That is Levitt's concern.
So
I genuinely don't care about this person. I don't care who they are. I genuinely do not.
No, so they are. So what's happening is that they're immediately there. It's like lightning fast. One little thing. There's one little thing before I describe this that I'm looking at. It does say when you inflict terrible harm, so that implies that you've already made a roll to inflict terrible harm. Does it not?
Do I need to roll that?
I think you'll need to act with force just so I can see where things are going.
Yeah, I'll do that then. So let me just roll another. Oh, I just left the page on that. Would you like to count that first one as my terrible harm and then let me roll again?
We can.
Okay. What does a 9 mean?
So act with force is you choose two. One is because you have to inflict terrible harm to be able to get the thing. So it's your choices in on that one. If you roll an 8 for that, is you suffer little harm, you inflict terrible harm, you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy, and they put that twice for some reason. You take definite hold of it or the situation. You suffer little harm, you inflict terrible harm, or you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. Those are the 4 options.
I'll take the terrible harm in order to do this true professional move. I'll take that sacrifice.
And what's the other option you want?
I get 2 for an 8?
Yeah, for 7 to 9, under act with force, you get to choose 2. And so you have left, take definite hold, suffer little harm, or impress. Sorry.
I want definite hold of the situation then.
Definite hold of the situation. Got it. Yeah, so you are in control of the situation, so it's not a big thing. But yes, and you made a 12 on this other roll. And just double checking a thing. Just double checking on the thing.
My lucky fidget spinner that I stole from my baby this morning.
Yes.
Literally stealing from a 3-year-old.
Okay. So yeah, you're gonna do your weapon ordinarily does 2 harm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so terrible harm means I think they're gonna take 3 harm, so they're not great. They're nearly dead, but.
Okay, so it's gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, retreat to a safe distance.
So you get to choose 2. They retreat to a safe distance, and what's the other one you want? You can have them also become afraid of you if you want. If you want to do both.
Can't just, Robin, what is your opinion? Become afraid or tell stories of my prowess? What should I do? Because those are really, I don't want them to want me for their own. I don't want that.
Yes, I agree. I think it might be more interesting if they tell stories of your prowess.
They I like that one. They tell stories of my prowess. I like that.
Onlookers or enemies will tell stories of your prowess. Got it. Okay. So,
This bitch shot me.
and you wanted to get at least close enough to maybe hear something. You do hear one thing. When they are they've grabbed hold of this assassin, and oh wait, I said it was an assassin. They grabbed hold of the. I couldn't possibly be giving that away this early, could I?
I think Levitt assumed.
I think it's probably. Yeah. They're grabbing hold of this person, and they're carrying them onto the ship. And you're hearing there's some of the things about you're gonna get to the rendezvous. They're saying something about a rendezvous, and you hear the distorted voice of the person with the mask groaning this out as you just barely hear this as they carry them onto the ship. And the distorted voice comes out and says, "Fucking Levitt."
Damn it.
So apparently they know who you are.
Is this a dock this is water, right?
Oh no, this is a space dock.
It's not. Okay, I couldn't remember. That's how broken my brain is.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
when I hear that, my
spaceport.
eyes go wide, and but I don't hear about where they're going for the rendezvous.
No, unfortunately they're not talking about their destination. So their destination is some kind of rendezvous.
Okay. Well, then I hear my name, and I'm fucked. And so I go back to my ship. I run. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
All right. You do that. And let's see. Yeah. I think we'll go ahead and do this. Also, if we have a little time, we're going to go ahead and do this bit, because I think this bit will be possibly helpful and or important. Rust, you're heading back to the ship. You receive a text that says, "You better not be dead or arrested."
Can I send back a winky face emoji? Or one, no, not a winky face emoji. Colon P. Colon uppercase P.
A tongue out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's from Levitt, and I think she would appreciate that.
Wow.
Or really not appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you send that. You send that. Here, I'll put one of those in the chat right now. There it is.
Oh, it makes a little robot face.
Yeah, it does. It does on Twitch. Yeah, so you're going to, I presume, head back to the ship.
Yes.
Okay. I think that you're going to see a lot of people scrambling around. They're a lot of the security guards are looking for an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to decide if yeah. I think we're probably just going to go ahead and end this session on that text, because there may be more folks back at the ship that will probably hear stuff going on when we come back next time.
Levitt gets it as she's running home, and she goes, "That I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him." That's just all. She's like, the fucking poison isn't gonna kill him because I'm gonna kill him. And that's just, she's like rushing back to the ship, just determined to murder Rust at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop for the night. as these various little revelations are occurring.
Yeah.
So I think that works. And the only reason I had originally
Levitt-
thought, yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'd originally thought let the two of you talk about it, but then I was like, no, there are going to be other people at the ship probably, and so this, yeah, we're going to need to, we need everyone to hear this if they're able to, so we don't have to hear, so that Rust doesn't have to repeat his tragic story over and over again necessarily.
Levitt's gonna die next session, apparently.
You have to shoot
is
somebody.
coming for yeah? Hickory's coming for vengeance.
Should have left him with 5 days of food.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 6.
Maybe a week. Maybe a week would have been more generous.
Yeah, he was got a little more peckish than he needed to be. That,
He's still hangry.
Yep.
He's still really hangry.
still in the throes of hanger. Long term, he's got the long hanger.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
Look at Freddie make an appearance before we leave. Hello.
Hey.
Say hello.
Oh, hi, Freddy.
Say
Hello.
Oh, he's so
Awesome.
handsome with his little bow tie.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hello.
That is
He's
glorious.
He's a distinguished gentleman. He's a Southern lawyer. He went to law school. He talks like this.
Brilliant. Well, we're gonna go ahead and before we begin to receive our Southern cat law lecture, we're going to go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you if you like, and plug anything you like, any final thoughts you have about this session, favorite moments or what have you. And we will start with Katy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katy. You can find me everywhere on the internet at KatyFace. Sorry, Freddie was being weird. I am a professional DM. I don't have any games up right now, but you can check my Twitter if I ever do. Yeah, I can't wait till next week. Hopefully we'll have more people here. I'm very excited to yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, because interesting. Levitt's getting in a lot of trouble, which honestly, par for the course. I did first session say that she is trouble, and I'm just living up to that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, absolutely. That is the order of the day. And now we will head over to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. You can find me on Twitter at r_Omulus and on Tumblr at Romulus. I am very excited about this upcoming session where I get to share my special little story about murder and death and not show off my injury that I've gotten
You're
to
limping
anybody,
home.
because I'm a doctor and I can take care of it myself. Yeah.
Levitt is going to murder you. She's truly going to kill you.
It's fine.
They
You've murdered
honestly,
me before, I think.
yeah, and honestly, they probably would have. They would have seen you were injured. They would have given you some assistance before you left. They're not gonna make you limp back to the
would
ship.
Rust have taken it is the real question.
That's the fair question. Yeah. Would you have accepted their medical assistance there with the
No.
numb leg? No. All right. Well,
Nah.
that's okay. You can walk it off. It'll be fine in the morning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent.
This is like Monster of the Week in Urban Shadows. One rest and you heal a state. You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, I'm sure. We're going to head and put everybody else's links. Unfortunately, Hollow could not hang around, but hopefully we'll be back next time, as will hopefully Cleric and Mem. So you can go and follow them. They are wonderful people. I put their links in the chat. As for myself, I'm Jim, and let's see. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Wherever I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast, and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below here on Twitch, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. On Thursdays, we are playing, every other Thursday, my friend Lucci and I comes over and we play old Infocom games, text adventure games, so that's going to happen that afternoon, hopefully, this coming Thursday. And that evening, we have another session of Blades in the Dark. Where it was revealed last time, my regular character, the Professor, is taking a little bit of time off to recover from stress, and so I am instead playing Greg the driver, the carriage driver, who they terrified and they terrorized last time by opening a box full of ghosts in his carriage. So I'm sure everything will be absolutely fine. But we'll see what happens when that job actually starts. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, back around to this. On Sundays, we have Sunday afternoons, Alas for the Angry Void, which I think things are getting kind of interesting. I'm very interested to see where things go and see if they can make it off the planet. Maybe they will. We'll see. There is an offer to do that in the works, so it's looking like they might, but we'll see what happens. And nothing else right now. We've got some one-shots coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'll talk more about that as we get closer. But for now, we are going to dive out. We'll probably go and say hi to someone when we hit the end card. But in the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.